turning a glue bomb into something gorgeous. Well, hello, my name is Doug, and you are on episode 5. Which glue bomb goes where? Okay, let's back up and tell you the whole story. I mean, this is one really sad slot car from 1965, a Chaparral, and then we got one more as if one wasn't enough. So these are both very collectible Cox slot cars, but these would probably be left behind by most collectors. These were in really bad shape. And I thought to myself, hey, let's see if we can get these things so they're presentable and even really cool looking. And today we're going to decide which slot car becomes what winner from the Can-Am series back in the 60s. Okay, are we tracking? Let's get working. Now, this is glue bomb number 1. This was the one where we had to replace the seat area. Remember that? Well, now we are putting in the dashboard area. We're kind of curving it around the front. The reason we're doing that is because the way this car was built, the interior is there, and we're having to make a few compromises to be able to get this thing to look like it did in the 1-to-1 prototype. Today is kind of a wild episode. We got a bunch of stuff going on. First of all, we're going to do a little bit of work on the cars, and then we're going to take a look at the first glue bomb, the history of that car. And then we're going to look at some new stuff that is on the workbench, and I'm hoping it'll get you a little bit excited too, enough maybe to subscribe. Yeah. Last episode, we looked at ways to make very quick parts using Milliput. Now we're going to take those parts today, we're going to thin them out a little bit and put them into place in both glue bombs. First of all, we're going to be using these NACA ducts that we created, and if you sand them down really thin, which you can do with Milliput, they form perfect parts. Once sprayed, you'll never be able to know them from the original parts. So I have been looking at the historic Chaparral cars. Remember, they won 18 of 26 races in 1965. So we've decided to make car number 1 the 1965 Sebring winner. This was car number 3 that year that won in a downpour. Car number 2 will be made out as the 1965 Riverside winner. Here's some footage about the 65 Sebring.
Sebring, Florida, March 1965. 12 grueling hours at speed over a 5.2-mile airport runway and blacktop road course. The Jim Hall designed Chaparral. His practice time is a good 9 seconds, under the all-time record. Hall's strategy?
We intend to run with whoever's leading it, unless it's us, and we're gonna take off.
Hall tires of the game and passes Gurney to take the lead going into the 9th lap. Hap Sharp takes over and chases after Gurney. Ball and Sharp are setting a blistering pace. Lap averages over 100 miles an hour.
Jim Hall and his powerful Chaparral leading with co-driver Hap Sharp.
Rain is definitely a threat, and there it is. It's the worst deluge ever recorded at Sebring. The Hall Sharp car picks up the pace as the rain lets up. And Jim Hall takes the checker from Jesse Coleman, bringing pandemonium and well-earned happiness to the Chaparral pit.
On the next episode, we'll find out about the 1965 Riverside race, a really cool-looking Chaparral C. Well, we had a couple of Cox slot cars, and now there are 3. From the parts box, we have found this Strombecker. It's a casting of that old car. And from this humble beginning, I'm going to look to build a very rare Chaparral 2C. This car will also be built on a vintage 1965 Cox chassis. Look at some of the beautiful parts that the parts box provides, including this really cool box art. Oh, but I understand we may be reaching Chaparral saturation, maybe a little bit of burnout. We probably won't do a full series on these couple of cars, but we will show you the final product, including this Chaparral 2D. This is an original monogram model back from the 60s. Look, it also came with the complete instructions, a little bit yellowed from age. And we're going to be working on a couple of Cox Cheetahs. This car is an original car that I found from eBay. Priced very reasonably, but here's the cool part. If you look into the bottom, you can see it's a very rare team-modified chassis. Now for the second Cheetah, I'm going to use a parts box casting of the Cheetah, and I'll be turning it into the only Cheetah that was ever a roadster, the Crosal Cheetah. Now, behind the scenes over the last few weeks, I've been collecting the parts for all of these cars we're building. Hey, check this out. These number 3 decals are for the Sebring race, and number 66, that was the winner in the Riverside race, both in 1965. If you're looking to get decals like this for maybe your project, luckily, these things are made both in the US and Canada and available easily on eBay, as are these. These are photo etch seatbelts that I'm going to be trying, and photo etch bolt heads. Yeah, we're going to be using those for the windshield area, and the knock events also will be using these. And because I know it's kind of fun to look back on the Wayback Machine, look at these old instructions from the LM Cox Manufacturing Company in California. These sheets of paper guarantee that there were geeks back in the old days. Look at these. These were the graphs for the racing motors provided by Cox. That was fun to see. We are going from blue bomb to gorgeous. We'll catch you on the next episode from the Full Earth Workshop.